Okay, we have a quorum, so this is the conservation commission meeting. Now Upton for August 27th. Yeah. And the first thing we have is a request for determination of applicability. And Wells Church and Mary's gonna bring the and
Public hearing notice is hereby given in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act. The Upton Conservation Commission will hold the following public hearing on Wednesday, August 27th, 7 p.m. A request for determination of applicability filed by John Connolly for the construction of a new leaching field at 49 Grove Street.
excellent.
Good evening, Paris was Alpha Omega Engineering. This is a septic system repair. We have a failed septic system that's about 30 feet away from the wetland. The new system will be about 80 feet, the tank will be about 71 feet. So we're pushing the whole system as far as we can away from the wetland. It's in a grass area, we're not cutting any trees. It's basically out in the front corner of the property away from the wetland. I think this is the best way to fit the septic, and it's a new elevation system which should give us a reduction in size. And we did ask for some waivers from the Board of Health and we got those, so we believe the plan you have is the best on touching anything in the buffers within the 50-foot buffer.
Do you have a plan to show us?
Yes, the plan is
Oh,
So I think the existing septic field is here.
yes,
And the new septic field is going here, the edge of the wetland is here. And there's a fence here. And definitely an improvement upon the old situation. Pulling it back.
Where is the street? Oh, okay, towards.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
the
this is
box-
the street right here, yeah, the garage house. I think it looks like 71 feet from the wetland.
that's the tank.
Is the
But
tank.
That field is about 80 plus.
And is the tank staying the same or you're replacing the tank?
We're replacing the tank, new tank,
The same position though, right?
about here.
Yeah.
And we have erosion control around the whole site.
Yeah. we should try this.
Mary, what are your findings?
All right, so I noticed that there's a tree here, but it looks like you're not gonna impact
We're
the
not
tree.
touching that.
Here's a picture of the front lawn area where it's gonna go. There's a tree. This is the backyard looking, I imagine the old septic field is somewhere in this area.
Yes,
And the wetland is to the back there. The yard is pretty much fenced in. I did see this structure, which is in the delineated wetland. It's like a, I don't know, who knows what it is, an old shed or something. It's been there for a long time.
yeah, he doesn't know anything about it, and he believes it might belong to the neighbor next door, so he doesn't want to touch it because
Right, well, I think it seems pretty, just from where I was, it's directly behind the fence, so if it's on the neighbor's property, then the fence is on the neighbor's property too. So that I felt like it probably was on his property. So it's just one of my suggestions was to take that down and pull it out of the wetlands. Was a thought. And then just wondering what the commission thought about installing bounds. I mean, they do, the whole yard is pretty much fenced at the back. The wetland is pretty close to the fence though, 10 feet
yeah,
away
it's a lot.
or something like that. Some, goes back and forth.
Where would you put the bounds then?
I would just say on the other side, the back side of the
Okay, the
fence.
fence, right, cause
Yeah,
fence may
You
not.
have to go along the fence line. Yeah,
I
so,
didn't know if you were pulling it.
no, I'm not trying to
Okay,
have them reduce their yard.
okay,
I don't think it's not, I mean, unless the board feels like it, but it's a small yard as it is and.
it's already there.
It's been there for.
The fence actually is acting as a barrier.
No, they're not mowing it all on the other side of the fence. It's basically,
Dumping waste, dumping grass and stuff over there.
yeah, so this is on the other side of the property. There's a few pallets there. Maybe some minor waste, but yeah, minor waste.
It's over.
edge of the wetland, yeah. You can see the wetland flag is right there, this stuff is just on the side of the.
How many bounds do you think that it would need?
It's a pretty, we can go back to the plan,
Is it 2, 3, or?
go back to the plan, it's pretty straight shot across,
Straight line.
yeah, I think you could probably do two. It's,
One on
you know,
each corner of the fence, maybe.
one on each side, yeah, or maybe, since the fence doesn't run the whole length of the property, maybe one over here kind of behind the garage. That might make sense there.
3.
Yeah. probably
Yeah.
three.
Three.
Yeah, angle.
What size bounds you looking for?
So we usually do a 4x4 concrete post, which is like 4 feet long and, you know, 1.5 feet is above the ground and the rest is buried. And then we have medallions, they go on top, that you can purchase from our office. Yeah. Or any other. Yes, I think the board just, I mean, maybe we can just, ask that they talk to the neighbor about the building and just ask that it be removed if possible.
Well, I guess first to determine whose property,
Right, yeah,
if it's on his property, he can remove it, or the,
yeah, I
Probably
feel
just
like it,
afraid to touch it and then the neighbor will see it's mine.
well, that's why you need
Yeah.
to know whose property it's on. You need to know whose property, if it's on
We'll,
his property, then he should remove it.
We'll
If it's
ask
on
if
the
he-
neighbors.
we'll have him talk to his neighbor, if they both agree, then he can just, I think it's
Yeah.
just by hand, it can be removed.
Sure.
yeah, it doesn't need,
Okay.
I think the shed is kind of where this number 3 is, it's very near, it's behind, it is definitely behind the fence.
Yeah, because it might be like on line between, so
Sure.
we'll find out.
Definitely. Other than that. Erosion controls look good and. Oh, was there stockpile? Yeah, there's stockpile. Yeah, with it being so close to the road, just be careful not to, maybe erosion control around the
Sure.
stockpile.
Sure.
Make sure you don't get any dirt washed down onto the road.
Do you have any questions from the commission? Yes, sir.
My name is John Conley, I just wanted to introduce myself, where you were talking about my property out here, if anyone has any questions. If some of the things that were said were incorrect.
Which one?
The fence, and you wanna call it a shed, there's at least 12 feet, maybe 15. If we maybe a judging from the photography that you took, so that's where it's at. I honestly don't know if it's my neighbors, and we have a good rapport, or ours, it just has been there
It's
since the
there,
beginning
right.
of time. My wife and I moved in 5.5 years ago, and I couldn't help but wonder why, if the structure was an issue now, why wasn't it then? And why did that ownership get questioned about it?
When you moved
Yeah.
in 5 years.
It's a 49 Grove Street, Upton,
Right,
the shed was back there, and nobody said a word about removing it. But now we're in the position of doing our septic, and the shed needs to be taken down or removed. And I didn't understand why it didn't happen before, and now it fell in my lap.
you didn't come before us with this stuff.
Well, anybody could have done it, the conservation, they had to have come before you at some point
No,
with septic.
no,
No septic?
no, it could have been years and years ago, I don't
Yeah.
know.
We've only been there for 5
I
years.
know,
but that's a whole
Right,
But your house was built in like 1950 or something.
right, when was the house built?
I don't know if it's.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't know.
It's likely that the house was built, actually, if it was 1950, which I vaguely remember, that's built before the wetland regulations were even passed. So,
Yeah, but I'm all for the wetlands, and that's why I
yeah,
was excited that we could, our fence is pretty close. We do have a compost pile of just lawn waste and things like that, that we keep pretty neat. If you want the pallets removed, I could do that.
I wasn't too concerned about that stuff. If you had a huge pile back there, I would have said something, but it just seemed like that little building was my biggest concern.
So if it's on your property, we'd like you to remove it, if
Sure.
it's on your neighbors, you can ask them.
Yeah, we'll get rid of one
We're
more.
not gonna, but.
What is it, like falling down now and just a pile of
Something very old,
I don't know what,
67 years old.
yeah, I don't even know what it is. It's not full height, but it looks like it's some kind of structure, right? Yeah,
The
like
reason,
a little.
the roof
like
collapsed,
little
and the walls
collapse.
collapsed with it.
yeah,
I think there's only one wall standing holding the whole thing.
okay.
It's good for the wildlife.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Habitat,
Yeah.
that's what you call it.
So nothing
Will,
is sliding.
will it cause more disruption to tear it out than it will to leave it? Let it, just let it rot?
I don't know, if you pull it out by hand, I don't think it's gonna
Okay,
cost too much.
sometimes it's more.
Right, if you bring a machine in there, that would be, I don't think it needs a machine to get out.
No, like, it's a lot of overbrush and prickle bushes and things like that in that part of the
Yeah.
back. But I'm sure we'll find a way, one way or the other.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have a timetable on that? Month,
Oh, yeah, no, you got time, so,
Yeah.
Thank-
yeah,
That's
whatever, whatever time you want, you know, not.
Yeah, you know, Thank you.
Obviously not gonna. Shall we say by January first?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Where we have last, so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Hope so.
yeah. And when is the septic work starting?
I think once we have a contractor, we'll start right away.
Great, yeah.
So who owns the property? Oh,
Myself.
all right, I thought you
I'm
owned
the
it.
engineer.
Oh, you're gonna do the work. Sorry.
Any other comments or questions or concerns? Okay, would you like to close the hearing? Yes. Okay, so if we have a motion to close the hearing from the commission,
So, second.
okay.
Third.
Let's do voice vote, Chris,
Tom, I. Alan, I. Okay.
Sandy,
You
I.
go first.
And Marcella, I.
excellent, thank you, it's unanimous vote.
You go first, and then we'll trade.
So, we have a motion to issue the orders.
Issue a negative determination of applicability with rebounds and removal of this,
Assuming it's on his property.
assuming it's on the property. Yeah.
Okay, we have that determination.
Make your motion, Joyce.
Second.
Okay,
That's right. I can't get it together.
Chris, I,
Tom, I. Alan, I. Mike, I.
Sandy, I.
Dan and I. Marcella, I.
okay, it's unanimous vote of the commission to issue a negative determination, which is good. And having the 3 bounds and the structure removed and anything else.
Did we say 3 or
Three.
2?
Three. Yeah, one at the angle.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
so thank you, you're,
Thank you very much.
you're the birthday.
Thanks, Olivia.
Okay, now,
Thank you.
Mary, on there, does it say how far above the ground the bounds are?
18 inches.
18 inches,
When you, is there a,
yeah,
sometimes it's 45 feet.
you're just in
yeah,
time.
it's true.
On time?
Yes. We have notice intent for lot B. Collins Beach Road, construction of a single family home. And Mary's gonna read the notice.
Great, public hearing notice is hereby given in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act. The Upton Conservation Commission will hold the following public hearing on Wednesday, August 27th. At 7:15 PM, notice of intent filed by Kiwanis Beach Road LLC. The construction of a single family house, septic system, driveway and well at Lot B, Kiwanis Beach Road.
Excellent. Mary, did we get the DP?
No DEP number
Oh,
yet.
yeah. Okay, and
One quick question, my address on the address or the address? You have the address and I'm good for what B Kiwanis.
Yeah, are you the engineer?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
should recognize you, you've been in the office, but. Yeah, just, you can put your, engineer off, your office. And would you like me to pull up the plans?
I brought a hard copy in case anybody likes to put it in front of them.
sure.
No, we can do both, yeah, it's nice, sometimes it's nice for people to
Yep, they can spread it
gather
around.
around.
Mayor gets that. My name is Bob Parenti and I'm the engineer and surveyor for this plot on Lawrence Beach Road. And we've already submitted the plan, the septic plan to Board of Health, and they've approved the plan. I think they haven't issued the actual installer's permit because we don't have an installer yet, but all that work is outside the 100-foot buffer zone. I did read through Mary's letter, the office review this morning, and I noticed there was some questions maybe on the vernal pool on our neighbor. Mary, maybe over here somewhere.
Yes,
On my
yes,
piece.
the vernal pool is, yeah, pretty much, it's over here.
Yep. So did you guys put flags there that I located, or what were you thinking I was gonna do?
So the edge of the pool, it's pretty
Well defined?
It's pretty well defined. I
Okay.
think you won't have, I don't think you'll have, of course, that was in the spring, but it was full of water and I think it's relatively easy to see the
Okay.
edge. You can, and probably you would only have to do half of it.
Our side of it,
To
our side of
your
it.
side of it.
I can get them
And
off the
because I feel like the buffers will only go across
lot line.
the lot line. Probably not all the way there, but maybe into the wetland
Okay.
area. Show them.
Yeah, this is 100, so. I would think it's within 100 feet of our lot line. I remember seeing it, I didn't, because it wasn't state certified, I didn't realize that it came under your jurisdiction, but.
Right.
I'm sure I can go back, I was like, okay, okay. I think it's right kind of in that scale of later plan view,
Yeah,
right in this area, right in that
Yeah.
general area. And it feeds that little ditch, it feeds that little ditch.
yeah, it does,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah, that ditch is pretty
connectivity.
deep, that's like 3 feet deep.
Yeah, it seems like it's like an overflow for that pond or something. Definitely probably man-made at some point.
So there was a couple other letters and a couple other items in the Mary's for the office review, I guess. Driveway is in a good spot where it is because there's an opening through the trees. So we
Is
wrap-
there
we
a
wrap it with it.
stone wall, is there a stone wall along the?
No, there's no stone wall. What happened on Kiwanis Beach, sometime I talked to the other engineer, I think it was land planning. They widened the layout because the planning board wouldn't give them frontage lots, I think, somewhere 3 or 4 years ago, so. It was actually a 50-foot wide layout and the pavement's only 20 feet, so. It actually comes into this property, the layout line comes quite a bit into this property. So yeah, there was no stone wall.
Okay.
I think because it was probably cot road to get to the pond back in the day.
So which house is this next to? What number on the road is this?
Across from or
Yeah, whatever, some sort of
I
mark.
guess across from 12, do we have?
Yeah, it's across
I don't
from
have-
6 and 12, so if you, as you're driving in, you go past the place where the vernal pool is, and then it's like the next lot on the right, there's no houses on the right except for. At the
One way at
very
the end,
end,
way at the
Yeah,
end.
wait, okay,
So
so
on the, it's the first one on the right,
okay,
and I think eventually are there gonna be 2 on the right
So
there?
there's one, yeah, they created 2 lots, so the previous engineers surveys, they created lot A and lot B.
Mhm.
Both are about 3 acres, I'm not sure if that's the minimum, but maybe 2 acres is the minimum, but they're both about 3 acres, so. The area that we're disturbing with this project is roughly 36,000 square feet. I put my scale on it before I came in and I think there's a little bit of leeway to move some of that, those silt wattles a little bit
Mhm.
towards the driveway, I think maybe that was one of your comments.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I guess I was just wondering. Yeah, so I guess one of my comments was, we have a 30-foot no disturb zone and that should be shown, and I was concerned that the wattles were maybe close to that. So yeah, if you can pull the wattles a little further away, that's better, but. As long as they're along that 30-foot,
Yeah, a good 20 feet off the driveway, I don't think we need that much room
yeah,
to grade out the driveway at the entrance, there's a little bit of grading, but not a lot. And then when you talk about the limit of work, you mean the limit of 30-foot?
well, a limit of work,
That's fine.
and just kind of the limit of clearing, so. I was, curious as to how far behind the house you were gonna clear. I mean,
Okay, pretty much,
You can see
draw a line, it would be the limit of the,
the grading,
limit of the grading.
yeah.
We do, we are filling quite a bit for that lot. Because the groundwater was 36 to 40 inches, something like that. Not the, so we will have a raised septic system. Therefore, the house is also raised up, so, we don't have to pump it.
Mhm.
So, I think that without disturbing more land, I think that's the best area for the topsoil stockpile. I'll comment about the topsoil.
Right.
And maybe adding a row of wattles at the base of that
Mhm.
topsoil area there. What else can I think of?
Yeah, so
Or,
so I guess my question is then the limit of work would kind of go from the topsoil. I'm just wondering how it goes across the back.
so the limit of work will go right up that, right
Topsoil
up that
pile,
northerly, yep, right up that northerly line. I can put a dark poly line on there. But
kind of show it
coming back
edge of
in.
the trees, yeah.
We're coming back. Yep, yeah, we need to cut right to the lot line, cause we're gonna put some recharge over there. And there's actually a little bit of a natural depression in there. So probably when the other guy, the neighbor comes in with lot A, he's probably gonna recharge right next to that, what do you think? So it was pretty good, it's just a high water table, which. Probably why we got,
So there is the recharge on the other page.
oh, it was flipped over.
Yeah. let's
Yeah,
see.
so I took that same. I took the septic plan and we blew up kind of the areas to try to get a better idea
Oh, there's a
on
recharge.
erosion control.
Okay.
Yeah, so the recharge area is over here. And then I just drew a little small detail of it to show how many units we're gonna put in. So typically, with these type of soils. We might recharge in like 0.35 inches of the root, but I think this system can contain a lot more, contain probably an inch of runoff from the roof. Which is quite helpful for the project.
So you're gonna clear all the way to the lot line, even having that funny triangle there?
Yes, we have a well. We have a well, so. I think one of the owners might have called you, one of the. Elder might have called you today asking questions, did somebody call you? Well. When they could cut trees, no?
Oh, yeah, he did.
But I
Yeah.
told him you could. Prep out for the well, because we can't get a building permit until the well tested. And that's
Right.
well outside the 100, so.
Yeah, the well is fine. So you're planning on clearing everything on the walls, basically, in the lot. That was kind of the question.
Yeah, and then I think it would just come around here, because.
But you might not cut all these trees there.
Exactly, I don't think we need to. It might come, 10 feet inside of this,
Then-
and then if I push these over maybe 5 or 6 feet.
Mhm.
I'll be more like 40 feet. With those 40 feet at the closest, let's say.
Mhm.
Which would probably make the commission happy.
Yeah, that would be good.
Then when you talk about bounds, what people do valley columns, do you have something some people buy or?
You can buy them, some people make them too, you can pour them 4x4 inch concrete posts that are about 4 feet long. And then we ask them to be 2.5 feet in the ground and 18 inches above, and then we have medallions. That you can. put-
You have one, you have a medallion or?
Yeah, we do, that we purchase from our office.
Okay.
And
Oxy.
Yeah, they used to sell survey bounds over 4x4, I don't know,
Same
there was a place in Oakdale, I used to.
yeah, I know
I
there's a
think
place
that
in
business.
Framingham that does and some people make their own.
If I pick some angle points or something like. I think you said 6'1".
Well, that was a suggestion, yeah.
And then up in here, the water would be 50 feet off the wetlands, because that purple line is 50.
Right,
And then you want to show the 30-foot line and then the bounds next to it, or
yeah, well, it's partially up to the board.
should we take the 50-foot line off?
Yeah, the lines mean different things. 50 foot means no build within that, and which is great. You have everything out of there, which is perfect. And then the 30 foot is no disturb, so like no cutting trees within 30. And so the bounds,
In perpetuity, whatever.
yeah, the bounds typically go to 30, but if you wanna put them in parts of the 50, because Mission is obviously happy with that, but.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
not
don't
the
need
owner, I'm not the owner, so.
Yeah.
40 might be
Yeah.
reasonable for this
Sure.
one. Because I don't think they
There's-
need to have side yard, I don't think
There's,
they need to
yeah,
have
there's,
side
it
yard.
seems like there's plenty of space.
Those things would be great to see on the plan.
Then I get them on for the next, I'll go back out and get the vernal pool and I'll show it on the, might fit on this one down here. I get the edge of it, and that's a 50 and 100 foot line you're trying to see?
Yeah, so the 100 foot qualifies as resource area,
Okay.
and then the 50 is a no disturb off of that 100 foot. Resource area. I mean, so it's 100, so the final line is 150 feet from the vernal pool. And so that's why I thought it would probably show up on the lot.
Did you get your green cards back?
You know what?
Get your green cards back.
Yep. I didn't get all of them, but I brought the slips that I mailed them with,
Okay.
and then I got back, I'll probably get back soon, probably. Yep. So do I need to show a buffer line from this wetlands on this side,
Show everything.
or nobody's gonna propose work in there, but.
Oh,
It's up to
show
you
the
guys.
buffers on that side? I don't think so, I don't think so, just the,
Nobody's gonna.
Right.
yeah,
nobody's Gonna come in for that.
right, I don't think so. Although, if you know, I noticed when I was out there, somebody's doing something across the
Yeah,
street.
so that's good, the other guy, I think,
Yeah.
they scraped the bank and somewhere else down the road, but that wasn't us. I mean,
Oh,
we,
you think they took it from somewhere else? I was like, what is this? I
I'm
don't know who it is, anyway,
not sure.
it's another subject for the meeting later today.
So,
Put a slow down thing on that road too.
Oh, you
The
think
kid from the drop off for the camp, they're all like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
so any questions from the question? Any other question, Mary?
Wait for the continuation.
Yeah, I think that was,
Yeah, we don't have the DEP on me yet.
Right.
yeah,
Okay, did you find you and that night?
sweet. Oh, yeah, there was one portion that I thought where the wetland could be expanded, but I didn't think it was worth.
Yeah, up at the top, up.
I didn't think
Higher
it
path?
was, no, it wasn't worth calling your consultant out because it was near the other side of the property, it was.
Oh,
it was
side?
here, so I was just, I don't think it. I think.
We're not doing any work over there.
Yeah, I think you're, and no one will ever be able to, so I just
Right.
figure we'll just leave it. Seems fine.
So, we have you continue this till September
September 7th?
10th,
Yeah, yep,
and what time, Mary?
Let's make it 7 o'clock,
Okay,
I get the early bird.
Yeah,
yeah.
lucky you.
Who's gonna build the house? You're just the engineer.
On me.
Who owns
I
the
built a
property?
few, but. Duel for that game, it's the young man's game.
Who owns it?
A couple of friends of mine, Luke Souza, he lives on Maple Street, so somehow they know the people that built down the end of that street.
Oh,
Chuck Marcello.
at 18, they know them, yeah.
Yeah, so Luke is a realtor. He's got a couple partners that. One of them's thinking of moving there, but. I don't know what'll happen, pretty big house, so.
It was a nice spot.
yeah. Okay, so
Except for
our,
when camp is in session, swimming lessons are in session.
Bond's beautiful, yeah.
so we're continuing this till 7 o'clock on the 10th.
Okay,
And hopefully we'll have the, you know,
I will be back with some bound markers and. I can just put bounds per, or just label 4x4 concrete bounds,
Yeah,
4 foot
yeah,
long.
conservation.
There's a
you
medallion
know,
after.
Yeah, the
Medallion
medallions,
says,
Well,
do not go near this bound.
no,
it's
the
Street W, I believe,
Yeah.
and it has the. Just the phone number on it, I think it might say do not disturb, I'm not sure.
Can't remember.
Yeah, these people will know, it'll be in order conditions, so.
Yeah,
Well, thank
How
you.
long is DEP taking these days to get a, cause I did get their green card back,
oh, we did.
so we should
Yeah,
know they have
I
it.
feel like it's been slow this summer. We haven't had this attempt recently that it, we had, it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Alright, well, you do but wait, so.
Well, sometimes if you call, you would get popped off the list.
Probably short staffed,
Yeah,
laying everybody off.
I tried Mary Ann DePinto, she did some stuff for us out in Charlton, she used to work there, so
Oh, good.
maybe she'll make a call for us. All right,
Have a good
I
day.
don't wanna drag on forever.
Have a good night.
Yeah,
All right, thank you
thank
very much. Thanks. I'll be back.
Okay, now we have
Probably shelve this project.
19 Lionsgate Road. Alright,
all right, so I left a message with Marcel. Well, I tried contacting him before. And he didn't pick up. He finally got back to me today. And he says, Yeah.
Jody, who has her hand raised.
oh. I don't know. Let's figure this out. We should have let them talk to their neighbors.
Nothing came of it.
Jody, I apologize. Did you want to talk during the hearing?
Yeah, this is Ben and Jody at 52 Elm. Yeah, we were trying to weigh in on the property on Lot B now that they've left. We're,
Well, Go ahead.
You can speak.
We can always email.
Yeah, because we haven't done anything.
right.
Yeah.
okay, good. So we just obviously have concern on drainage. It sounds like they're raising the site quite a bit in order to get out of the water table because we all know it's low over there. So I have concern on runoff from, I mean, I wasn't there, you weren't sharing the screen, so I don't know what the elevation change is gonna be. Is it 3, 4, 5, 6 feet where they're building the house? Is that gonna drain off onto our property? And then obviously the vernal pool that we have, I know that it's going to be classified as that. It hasn't been classified yet, but has that drainage ditch, if you will, that if that does get too high, it goes out that way. So I'm concerned if they put in a driveway, are they gonna have a culvert there or something to drain it off down further down the line further, or how is that all gonna work? And I couldn't see the plan, so I couldn't get an answer there. And then it sounds like you're continuing until the next meeting. So is there any way for us to kind of look at those documents and check that out?
Yeah, so the plans are on the website.
Okay.
Under applications and and you can also come into the office.
Okay.
And he does have a roof recharge for the house.
So he's got underground storage, or is that like a rain garden?
No, that's underground storage, and it does
Okay.
look like be a culvert under the driveway, 8-inch drain pipe going under the driveway.
Got it. Oh, so that was the other question, is where is the house laid out? Because when the Marquise family shared the early preliminary plans with us before they sold. So I just wanted to see if it was roughly in the location that they were showing it. And it actually is a little bit closer to the road than what they were showing, but that makes sense now.
And so let's see, the top of concrete, 355. So I guess that's their basement elevation is 355. So that looks like it's about 1 foot taller than
Got it. Yeah, existing over there.
354 is on the other side. So hopefully it's relatively flat and won't be creating a lot of runoff toward your property.
Yeah. And it looks pretty far away. So I was concerned on exactly where it was getting placed and where it was getting raised up. So that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got a little swale kind of at the edge of the driveway to catch runoff off the driveway,
Yeah.
to kind of to direct it down towards the street as opposed to, of course,
Yeah.
the neighbors below, but
Yeah. Yeah. And is that another underground storage in the back of the house there?
No, that's a septic.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
septic. Oh, gotcha.
septic, and then this is the roof is getting drained in there.
Got it.
Where is their property?
They're at the.
They're leaning on, they're on the other
They're the
side.
Yeah.
vernal- They're the vernal pool property.
Okay.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
guys are. Where your house is a fair bit higher than the vernal pool, right? I feel like maybe 10 feet up or something, maybe not quite that much.
Not quite that much, but yeah, it's higher. So it was more so just the if it isn't draining, it's gonna flood that area. You know what I mean? And then so I just wanted to make sure we're good with that.
Well, yeah, I guess that, you know, because that channel flows into the vernal pool, and certainly your yard next to the vernal pool is very low, and it could
Yeah.
raise water, yeah, you wouldn't want it to raise the water levels there if
Yeah.
it's going backwards, the channel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it definitely 342. I see it does kind of come down and then kind of starts to go back up a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But there and just if you can scroll south a little bit, are they clearing all this area back behind like where it says Lot B? Is that all getting cleared, or are they leaving that? I mean, I don't see why they would clear it, but it's all
Right, that's what I was trying to get him to talk about that, so it sounds like they're gonna leave this woods, I think. And
Yeah.
but they're gonna clear up to the stockpile area, and it looks like they have grading all the way back up here. Which I don't completely understand on the other side, so they may have to clear up to that grading. On the other side.
Got it. Okay. No, I appreciate you guys giving us a little bit of time on that. So
Well, no, those are good questions, and I think it's worth,
Our apologies.
Right.
yeah, I apologize, and I can email the engineer and just let him know what happened afterwards.
yeah, that'd be great.
Also come to the next meeting.
And you can, yeah.
Yeah,
encourage-
that's my fault. I thought for whatever reason I thought the notice said Zoom only, so that's my fault. And then I got on the call, I was like, wait, why are there people there? My fault.
Well, if you're on the Zoom next time, we'll make sure we look.
Yeah, I apologize. And
When's the next call?
It's on September 10th.
7:00.
Well,
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll be around for sure.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Now.
And just blow them off.
And especially, he was very kind to allow me on his property to look at the vernal pool, yeah.
So are we at 18 Pines Beach Road?
Yes, they were not able to make it tonight. So I'll try to schedule him for the
Okay.
next meeting.
What is
potentially.
that?
18 Kiwanis Beach, that was the issue with the trees and.
Oh, yeah.
Planting and,
Right, the people with
yeah,
March, whatever his name.
yeah, and I'm out of town for the next meeting, so if you guys want me to schedule that for I'm sure you guys can handle it, but.
No, I think
Schedule it.
it's important, I think that you be, you're the one that's been on the property. No, but you're the one that's been on the property.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'll try to schedule him for this meeting in
Yeah.
September.
Yeah, nice.
Well, just by standing on the road, it doesn't really look like much is grown there at all, just looks like some weeds. So who owns the property right across the street, all that ledge
Across the street.
from 18?
Right, so I guess that might be the second house that they're gonna try to put in. Wow. I think that one might be trickier than this one. Yeah, there is some,
Yeah, yeah, I would, because I kind of thought that's where tonight's lot
Oh,
was, so
right.
when I stopped, I looked up,
yeah,
whatever.
Now, what's up? Missing your name.
yes. Would you like me to pull up the Pleasant Woods plan, Mike?
Sure. Yeah, I asked that this be put on here. I don't know, if anyone knows about that visioning workshops that are taking place, town is, the planning board is sponsoring this, and they hired, Dawson and Flinker to do a, basically, vision for West Upton, similar to what was done for, the town center. About, about 4 years ago now. They've had one meeting, at, community center, and there were probably maybe 50 people there. They broke people up into tables, and they let people make comments. So maps that they provided. They're having their second visioning workshop, and I attended that. They're having their second vision workshop on September 13th, Saturday, September 13th. They're having so the site visit starting at 9 in West Upton, 10, they're moving to the community center now. At the first one, I mentioned Pleasant Woods, which is in West Upton and Maryland, conservation area. Most of you probably know where it is, but it's the lower right-hand corner is Dunkin' Donuts, right there, or the Coach Road Apartments. And I basically mentioned that it would be nice to have some trail access from Coach Road area into Pleasant Woods. Right now, there really isn't any well-defined access. We discovered that this was a conservation area around 2016 or so, roughly. And not long after that, I went and talked to the Coach Road folks, the housing authority, about access. And the problem there is that they were very concerned about parking. They were at the time having some sort of dispute with the owner of the gas station. So, I think land stewardship, maybe the Concom was involved, and we kind of backed off that. Asking for access, figuring at least wait until the dispute with the abutter was solved.
What about access off of the cul-de-sac off on the Merriam Way and all that other?
Well, we have, it's, there's access off of Warner.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, but there's no parking.
Right, no parking. But the idea was, the idea is to have people from West Upton Center, access this property, and they could walk all the way up to the State Forest pretty easily. Up to State Forest is kind of across the street a little ways.
Right, yeah.
And Linda Gay was at the meeting, and I talked to her later, and she apparently knows the owner of the gas station, and offered to talk to him about access. And she has done that, and all I really know is that she said that the owner has some interest in providing access.
Isn't that pretty steep behind the?
It is, it's very steep. It's very steep, yeah, you need kind of a switchback trail. But it's possible, it's definitely possible to have a trail. The whole topography of the whole area is pretty extreme, and then there's Marion, there's a couple of burn pools. Mary, which one, the two lower ones, are those the ones that you
So
worked
this
on?
one was definitely, I can't remember, but a ton of egg masses. This one only had like 4.
Oh, that had egg masses too.
That one
Oh,
did.
wow.
This one, it actually looked beautiful, but I couldn't find any there. And this little teeny one was teeming with egg masses,
Right.
but it might have dried up, I don't know.
Yeah.
At any rate. So
But if,
this
you
was
know-
the only one that didn't have any, and these 2 were certifiable.
Well, the third one would be certifiable too, right?
With only, I only found 4 egg masses.
Oh, we only found 4, okay.
Yeah, so and it's definitely worth checking.
Oh,
every
yeah,
year.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got some really like development constraints, for pools, and there's wetlands that don't really show here, and then there's topography that shows on this. So I guess where I'm going is, I don't. I think Chris is gonna go to this visioning session too, the next one. And I don't, feel comfortable speaking for the commission telling what they think about this. Do we wanna make a strong case for keeping this area as a conservation area? I think the thing that I didn't say that in the past, the town has thought about maybe putting affordable housing here, and in fact, like the 2012 affordable housing plan calls this out as a potential area for affordable housing. I'm not sure if the more recent plan does or not. But I guess I'm looking for what the commission thinks about this. How strongly would you like to defend this as a conservation area? I mean, if they wanted to, build something here under the state's net loss law for open space, which went into effect a couple of years ago, they'd have to compensate for using parts of the area with other open space. But
What does that mean, Mike? So let's say they take 10 acres of land. I don't even know how big this is. Did they have to then replace 10 acres of land somewhere else? What does it mean, no net loss?
well, net loss, I think in acreage, I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I think they also look at the value of the property, the habitat value, natural resource value of it. So it might not necessarily be one in terms of acres. It could be more than that.
What must have a formula they put on it.
It's have to, there's a whole bunch of regs. Read the regs and get a better handle
We
on
just
that.
wanna know what we think generally.
Yeah, like I said,
Opinion
we've
is.
got this visioning session going on. And I'm not comfortable saying, I personally think, keep this conservation area, the development potential is limited, and now we've got vernal pool data and slopes and bedrock. It's also nice having an open space area near the center of town where people can walk to. And it really is a nice area.
It is.
When you wander around, we have some cleanup to do, so probably. Mary, did you see any of the
Yeah, I feel like there's fewer structures.
bug ramps?
Yeah,
You know,
It
there's,
screw up.
well, and there's someone from over here has. Like, been drive, there's like, I don't know where exactly the line is, but people seem like they're going in from there.
we need to, we have this map on the website, and we have a sign on the land, that's our own presence right now. And again, partly it was until this access issue is resolved. It's kind of
That might be
honoring the housing authority to get.
the access problem.
Marcella wants to speak.
Oh,
Hi, Mike, are you looking for a vote to, for the Conservation Commission to support protecting it? Or do you just want to feel us out?
I'm just looking for whatever you would be willing to say, or the commission would be willing to say. If somebody wanted to make a motion saying that, the commission would prefer or strongly advise that this area remain open space or conservation area, that'd be fine with me, but or you could have no opinion right now. They're still kind of early in this fishing process.
No,
Or
sorry.
No, okay. I was gonna ask, what was so it's conservation area only because it's owned by the town, but it has no protection on it.
well, no, I think it does, because here's the story, remember our 50-year-old oak tree, 50th anniversary tree? Well, around that time, I was going through, because I don't have life, I was going through annual reports.
Yeah.
Annual reports. Yeah, and
It's better than
and I
that.
ran
Better than
across,
Netflix.
and I ran across a town meeting vote.
Yeah.
I remember the year, I think it was like
on,
72 or something,
Yeah.
you know, where this area was put under the control of the Conservation Commission for the citizens of Upton.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 2/3 majority vote that was called out there, so it was, they passed by 2/3. Would some lawyer maybe argue that the wording wasn't exactly like the modern wording that he would use to designate an area as a conservation area, but maybe somebody would, but it's certainly, I had the 2/3 vote, which to me is pretty strong indication.
intent.
And the intent, and then the other thing is, if you read it, the Conservation Commission annual reports, for some years after that, they were managing it. They had a community garden here, they talked about trails, they did some forestry. And then at some point, like the institutional law, which was lost.
Yeah, people change.
So that's the first one.
And for as long as I was in town, it was corporate land and one person wanted to do a herbarium or not. Herbarium. Arboretum here. They wanted to put a library here, they wanted to do affordable housing here. And no one like peeped up and said, hey, by the way, this is a conservation area, because no one remembered it. Or referenced it.
Scott Button Conservation Property.
The first was the Wildwood Park. And then this was either something the third, Pratt Pond might have been the second one. Pratt Pond was in 72. I think this is the third one.
Well, I like the idea of open space, but I'm not opposed if they have a real plan for doing something to help the town, like along the edges or so, like, I don't know what this vision is, I prefer open space personally. I mean, I like open space, but in part of the town's trying to do stuff and grow, I'm not willing to crap all over that either,
I agree. I think we need to protect the vernal pools. And the open space is good. This is a great place for people downtown to enjoy it. But the town has been very good to us in purchasing land in other areas that has essentially been minimally used. And if they wanted to use some of this or something, like said, around the edges. Perhaps not housing, but
yeah.
big area or.
Right, like they talk about the
A
village
picnic
concept,
area.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or something for people downtown to, get a coffee, walk over, enjoy,
Yeah, I think that would, any uses like that, like passive recreation would be something the commission.
I don't see how they could use it for a library or housing.
No.
Well, that's.
They'd
gonna
have to
give
go in and they'd have to
Mhm.
obliterate the vernal pool area because down at the bottom.
It would be extremely disruptive. They could come in off of Warren. Maybe do some development there,
But
but
that's not,
that's not West Upton.
downtown,
Right,
West
right.
Upton, oh.
Marcella has her hand up.
Marcella,
Yeah, I would think that if we do negotiate something to allow the town to put a structure or do something with the land, that we should definitely put it on paper, not just hope that whoever develops it is going to be nice and allow an easement for a trail. So that at the very least, we can continue to access it from wherever.
And we should do it before the West Upton people decide something, we should send some,
Well, just under that new
Correct
state
rules.
law, that law, so there's a whole process.
Mhm.
The state gets involved. EEA gets involved. There's rules and regs and town meeting votes are required, and it'd be really difficult to go through it.
to do what?
Say if they want to put housing here,
Yeah, I doubt that.
you know. So,
They'd have to blast the whole town.
Yeah, it's-
the whole center of
It's
the
hard
town.
because the Warren Street access is not good.
I guess this is probably the dead trees behind the road, so.
So I think we should come forward with a, you know, a little plan to
Well, the plan
make it
is trail.
acceptable for the town.
Plan
Put
is
some
just.
trails in there,
yeah.
a few picnic tables
Mm.
and something.
So Mike, you're looking for a motion that the commission
Let you speak first.
recommend that we serve this conservation area as part of the West Hampton visioning plan. Well, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, let's do a voice vote, Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Mike,
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
It's the end, but Mr. President.
Don't be screwing us, man.
Chris, the representative, she's.
I know, so I guess that's what I'm saying.
Does that help?
It does, yeah, thank you, you know, no, that's great, yeah, I appreciate it, I mean, I agree that. You know, unless,
It was a beautiful developable piece of property, you know, you might.
See the ground, I see it.
A lot.
I like that.
That's up to vision, they were saying that the vision is walk, the Mexican restaurant all the way downtown. So, when my dad drove by, I noticed all the obstacles to make anybody in a wheelchair not even. That,
telephone poles, mailboxes,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so,
falling
email
apart sidewalks.
Joe and my antenna said, they said, oh, we didn't realize that. So that's gonna be part of the discussion.
That's great.
So it's definitely not a vision. If you can't get anywhere where unless you go the right road, which would not be very. No,
What now?
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Okay,
what's
yeah,
next?
reports, we have the sheriff report.
Great. Okay, so. I have pictures of most of the things. One thing that's not pictures is Grant's septic washing, which is,
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
do people know where that is? Kind of. Near where Greg Trussell used to have his landscaping business, it's near there.
Right.
But there's wetland right behind it. It's the wetland that,
No, where's that? I don't know where Great Trustle's landscaping.
Where the breakfast place, the area there.
oh, yeah,
breakfast place.
Down
near the
the
old
one
senior
down-
center,
down
yeah,
the hill.
yeah,
Okay.
down there. So I think the neighbors are complaining about the washing trucks. I guess they're washing the exterior of trucks and potentially transferring sewage from one truck to another.
And there's a slope there, that lead, a pretty steep slope that leads right into the wetlands, and in the past there've been some erosion issues there. For long over.
Yeah, I haven't done the sites, but
Yeah.
so they,
And there was some dumping years ago, or some
yeah.
encroachments.
So what is? What
This-
are we doing? I mean,
this is
how long
just-
have they been there? Is there a threat to the, has the wetland been damaged?
I haven't done a site visit to look at the wetlands. Right now, they're running it through DEP to make sure that they're complying with
Okay,
DEP, not the wetlands regs, but the, hazardous
Sure.
waste and septic regs. So this is just.
So
for
you
your
haven't
information.
really looked at
No,
it. They might need a letter or something.
yeah, they might, I should get out and look at it. I know I was out there once before because the neighbor was complaining about,
Go down and
It's
have
all
breakfast,
storage.
look out the window.
salt storage, and I'll ask building inspector if he's done sites. I think Board of Health may have talked to them. Okay, that's that one. All right, United Parish is seal coating their parking lot, and I guess they had equipment there pushing the the dirt accumulates, and so they were pushing it,
Over the berm there, or?
well, just making the berm higher. And so they, it seemed fine.
Well, that's probably a good thing to make the berm a little higher.
And
Except
well, I
that
guess there's,
pushing
there
it
was
into-
pavement underneath there, so the dirt, I think they were losing parking lot.
Maintaining,
Which
they're
they
doing
should.
some maintenance.
They were meeting, so, but someone had noticed it and called me, so I just went and took a look.
Yeah.
They were there and
Did it?
is it all done? I haven't looked. Yeah,
Looks nice.
they look good. And did they move they must have moved these parking bars back, hopefully. And of course, then I believe it might be Dick Henderson, I'm not sure, he was concerned about the granite in the culvert. He was there, he's like, yeah, well, next time.
On the church's parking lot side or outside?
In the culvert, it's on the
Outside.
town side. Or I don't know who owns it, but. So he just wanted to mention that, and I mentioned it to Dennis, and Dennis says, yep, he always tells me.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Where did the granite come from? Was it from the
It's
church
just-
parking lot? or-
No, it's been there, it's
Oh.
just fallen off the edge of the it just, however old it is.
Collecting.
It's collapsing, so ideally someone would clean it out, but no one has.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Where's Poria when you need him?
This is a 118 Glen Avenue.
Those trees look like they're in the woods.
Yeah, tree's dead.
Wants permission to bring it down.
Yep. Well,
Well, they said it's close to the house.
I didn't see a house, that's all.
the house is kind of behind. It's right at the edge of his lawn, so falling down into the.
What about the other one? There's like 2 or 3 of them there, aren't there?
I think all of this is kind of together as one big
Mess.
mess. Yeah, it's going.
It's fine.
Yeah. To take care of it.
29 Sutterville Lane, they started
Mess.
clearing. Did a pre-construction meeting. It looks okay so far. A lot of,
Is that all chips? What is that? over
it's a
there?
big pile of chips.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
What are they gonna do with it?
I know, I guess I should have asked him, he could make himself a berm
Mhm.
around there.
Hmm.
But it looked reasonable. Right, 72 Hopkinton Road, they're putting in a pretty large garage, maybe I wrote down the dimensions. Oh yeah, 36 by 48, it's big. And it's going back into the woods here. There are wetlands on the property, but they're on the other side of the house. So I made them do an ALDP, and this is it looks like, if you look into the woods, it looks like somebody excavated an area out years and years ago. And so this is the area that it's going in.
ALDP.
Administrative land disturbance permit.
That's what I thought, the disturbance.
Yeah.
Away from wetland permit, right?
The less than 20,000 square feet permit. And this house must have been built under an order of conditions years ago that have a big wetland. The driveway has a lovely wetland crossing it. Looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Where's that?
72 Hopkinton Road, so as
Okay.
you're heading towards Hopkinton, you
On the
go
right.
past that little church and then there's the big wetland.
Right.
They're right after the wetland.
Yeah.
They're on that very big wetland.
Wonder why the house isn't in the water down there with all the flooding.
Yeah,
Poor people.
right, yeah,
It wasn't like that when they built it.
so this is what I was talking about, across the street from the new house. So I'm not sure if it's 6 or 10 Kiwanis Beach Road. It's kind of hard to tell because the property line goes right near that. So they put in this, what looks like a access. And I don't know if this bricks stuff was there before or whether it got dumped.
It's like a chimney.
Yeah, it's like something taken down, and then the culvert, which we saw the wetlands across the street from the other project, and then there's a culvert going under the road, and it ends right there, like 6 feet from the disturbance. And I don't know that it's BVW down there, but it's probably intermittent stream at the very least. So they're right next to it, although I keep wondering, well, what happens to that intermittent stream? There's a couple houses there. I don't know that it goes all the way to the lake, it may kind of go into the ground. But there's wetlands upstream, so. I think I need to probably, and so I'm kind of leaving it up to the board, I probably need to at least contact owners and find out what they're doing. And it may or may not be. I asked them if I could evaluate the soils. for
That's an
what-
interesting rock there, what is it? A
It's,
chunk of
well, it
granite?
looks like a chunk of, it's like,
Slate.
it's, yeah, this is like refuse from somebody's house, or something, like a chimney. That's why these are like,
That's kind
yeah,
of not natural.
yeah, so. I was just kind of looking for the board's guidance as to how to approach this.
That's about all their crap.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be a legitimate access road if there's no wetland,
Right,
but
but there's debris from something.
yeah, but there's definitely debris.
So you think they just filled it in with that, or you think it was existing and just got disturbed?
You know, it's funny, I walk up and down the street fairly regularly, but I haven't done it recently. And I was like, how long has this been here? You know, I was like, I couldn't even like, and I don't remember seeing these bricks and stuff, but. I feel like I would have noticed that, but maybe I didn't. Certainly noticed it.
You would have noticed
I
that.
think I would have noticed it.
It could be appearing at night.
Yeah, it's true. So I don't know where that's coming from.
What's down the road?
I didn't go all the way onto the property. It seems like it peters out
Yeah.
there, like it's not. Go much further than what
Probably
you can see.
something better down there at the end.
Oh, that's true, could be, yeah, and you can't really see it, because they just got the new near map photos out, you can't see this on near map. It's a tree cover. So I will get in contact with them.
In a drone. With night vision.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, see neighbors just walk down.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
Yeah. And then, yeah, this is another view of that. Color, materials. And this is High Street, 0 High Street, next to 12 Stoddard. So they're starting with their wetland crossing. And Slurable, seemed like they're pretty well. We did a pre-construction meeting, seemed like they're pretty well set. And then the last thing I did was do an exit interview with Owen, just to find out how he thought it went, and I was pretty happy with the summer, so that's good.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna write up kind of a list of like tools that he used and some of the jobs he did, so if this ends up being a year later, we'll at least have something a little bit recorded. Cause he ended up using his personal gas can and one other thing, his own, not that it was a huge deal, just.
Do you want to write a letter of recommendation?
He didn't ask for one, but I asked him if he might consider doing it next year, and he's like, I might. He didn't know it.
Where's he going?
You seem nice
To
enough.
school?
You go see UMass.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, usually the school will reach out to you and ask for an evaluation of the internship, if you did it for credit.
Right, and we were paying him, so he was getting paid for this.
You know, they almost always get paid, but they also do it for credit.
Right,
in other
yeah.
words.
That he was doing it for credit.
Yeah, I think he's just doing it as a resume builder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that seems likely.
Doing it for the high pay.
Yeah, well, I think we got him like, I can't remember whether it was 19 or 20 dollars. That's pretty good. That's
good.
That's
That's a
reasonable.
little money.
Yeah.
I work for nothing.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
Mike worked for cheap, Marcel and Bill worked for nothing.
Carrie.
So, yeah,
Stuff.
it ended up, you know, making a lot of work days for you guys, so that's something for the board to consider. Like, oh, maybe that was too much, but. Or the land stewardship committee can talk about it.
That's good.
Well, it was nice to have him. He did help a lot.
Yeah, he seemed to really enjoy it, so it seemed good.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's, oh, the last thing, which I didn't write down, so I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks, pretty much. Starting next week. Lauren, I think, is pretty well prepped to, she's gonna have to run the next meeting. And she's been instructed for any inquiries that, to reach out to you. And if people need like trees cut down or erosion control inspection.
Yeah.
I think she'll call you first and you could say, oh, talk to Tom or.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be relatively quiet. If we have, like, our deadline for the next meeting for hearings is tomorrow at noon, so if we get like a new application that I feel like, cause I'm not leaving till Sunday night. If I feel like I can review it before I leave, I'll just try to get that done, so that'll be awesome.
Well, have a nice vacation.
Oh, thank you.
You going away?
Where?
Enjoy,
I think she wants to tell.
enjoy.
Yeah, thank you.
No. Anything else for your report?
That's it for my report.
Okay, how about the
Dave
administrative?
used to take some really good.
Didn't we get a query about that tree from, who's Lane?
Oh,
Yes.
yes, how to,
Yes, so Chris took care of that.
Oh, okay.
That was all set, yeah.
What do we do there?
Cut it down.
At their expense, I mean, they're just.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, if they're telling me
The tree in the woods.
that is. Something like, when this bootstrap, like,
I don't even know what it is.
That's the Cobbler's Creek.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be why.
yeah.
And I looked it up enough to know that it's all gonna be under CR, but it probably isn't yet.
So I just responded to him verbally, and he said, can you send me something in writing? Read it.
Yep.
So nice person, very nice.
So
So,
it's nice when they call.
yeah, that's why I said, thank you, asked. No, your meeting is on the 23rd.
Yes.
Let me try to share my screen.
Hi there.
Hello. Sorry, this is always such a struggle for me to figure out how to share my screen. Oh, it's a big button. All right, perfect. Okay. So here are the meeting minutes from August 13th. Mike had given me some comments, which I put in here. Did anyone have additional comments or things to add?
No,
Awesome. All right. And then-
do a motion to approve them as amended.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor, Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Okay.
Sandy, I.
And I. Marcella, I.
Yes, what was the question? Thank you, Lauren.
Mhm. All right, and then we had one deposit. This was for a single family home, I believe, Kiwanis Beach Lot B. The legal ad fee and then the NOI fee. Oh, no. Okay. All right, and then we've got one voucher. This was from Koopmans. And this is what it was for $89.88. And so
Yes.
then here's our balance sheet. Bill had helped me sort some stuff out, like the Municipal Association of Conservation Commissions, something I think MACC. We had paid those dues June 24th for $640. But since it was going to this year's subscription, Kenny moved it into this fiscal year. So that was a slight adjustment. And then Mary's June mileage, which came in July and we paid in July, was switched to June from the previous fiscal year. So this might be a little different than last week or last meetings, but that's why. And I did reach out to Kenny about the $5,000 that should be in, I believe, the conservation fund. And I haven't heard back yet.
Here's Robbie.
No.
They shall
All right, so this is all that has to be paid. Not too much.
motion to adjourn now.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Voice vote, Chris, I.
Tom,
Micah.
Sandy, I.
And I. Marcella, I.
Okay, that's of the commission.
Awesome.
Pay our
make it there.
else. Lauren? Okay, let's open face.
Open space.
Yep, yeah, I don't have much to offer about the projects. There's really been no change since last week. I did want to mention that if you visit Warren Brook Watershed Conservation Area, you're probably going to notice there are some boundary signs for Grafton land, which would appear to be on land that was formerly thought to be Upton's land. Grafton arranged to have somebody put in the boundary markers, and they ended up, frankly, I agreed with this. The guy who did it talked to me, but they ended up using the line for the properties that, I guess, plans and the meets and bounds would indicate that their property extended into Upton. And it actually extends to an old Grafton town line that was moved westward. So I just wanted to make you aware of that.
The land that we cut.
Yeah, part of it. But
There you
at
go.
the time, we thought it was Upton land.
Oh, it's fine, I mean, it's not, it's just, it's woodland, that's me, it's all over.
The line has been moved several times, I think. The assessors moved it unilaterally at some point because the deeds referred to the Upton Grafton line. We had that dispute with one of the landowners about where the line was. Yeah, but there is, I think, in my opinion, there's overwhelming evidence that that land went to the old Grafton Upton town line.
that's-
In fact, one of the
that's-
things
That's the triangle you're talking about, right?
pardon me?
You're talking about the triangle?
Yes, the triangle that runs more or less from Grafton Road to the town line with Westboro. And then one of the things that contributed to my thinking that that was obviously the case is a gentleman I talk to frequently about property lines and deeds, found an old map that showed the line being changed. So. And then, Mike, do you have any updates on the Forest Heights land from a Metacomet perspective?
Yeah, I guess I do, Mary, maybe show the map. We have a draft conservation restriction, that SDT and Metacomet have prepared for the Forest Heights project for property. And, we'd like to send it to the EEA to get it into their, review stream. But Tony from SDT thought it would be a good idea to the draft by the Conservation Commission, Upton Conservation Commission, since you folks will be signing it eventually. We're hoping, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but we're hoping to close this project by the end of the year. So, yes.
Sorry.
But just the map shows, just for those of you who might not be familiar, that Forest Heights is shown on this map, and it's basically northern part of the kind of the Warrenburg corridor. Bonner metro area is south of it, and then Warrenburg watershed is in Whitney or a little bit south of that. It goes all the way basically to Grafton Road, the open space corridor. So Tom,
The top of that, is that the Mass Pike, the top of that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, and so that chapter 61 land, is that private property?
that chapter 61, it is private and it's the land to the left.
Yeah.
That is the land that SVT and Bill have been working on to acquire.
Okay, that's,
And right now, Bill, I guess, what is it? 35 acres?
That's the last number the landowners gave us, but I think well, they haven't. That's the last number they gave us. They have not told us definitively that that's what they're going to sell.
Okay.
okay, and so what's above forest, I can't read that. The.
Owner unknown.
Owner unknown,
Okay, that's what I looked at this when I read it.
and this says woods,
Yeah, that's
That's Metacom.
right,
Profit.
right, okay, so I was just curious about that owner unknown. Does that mean the town
Bill will
owns it?
find out. What's
Does
the
it-
name?
does it-
Actually, I, at this point, and I haven't resolved this with the assessor's office, but I have traced the ownership of that land probably to the early 1900s. So at this point, if we can confirm that with everybody agrees it needs to, it would become heirs of, and it's actually 2 lots, again, from my investigation, to Stowe and I forget the other one, Adams or something. So in any case, it would end up being the heirs of, which may give us a better opportunity to try to take it.
Well, would they own back taxes?
No, unfortunately, no. We can't. They would start to, I think, accrue taxes once we identify them as the heirs.
Oh, okay, all right, I was just curious. So, yeah, so that may never be town property.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
think
think
at some
Bill
point, and Tony and
insinuated
I have been
that
talking
take it.
about whether or not the town can take it.
Okay, all right.
Call them.
Bill, there is a plan that, a recorded plan that shows Rugaleski as being the property owner.
Ooh, Gillespie.
Well, that wasn't clear.
I'm not saying it's correct, I'm just saying it exists.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But
In
anyway,
fact, actually, the lot was originally co-owned by, a piece of land was co-owned by 3 parties. And the part of it ended up being in chapter 60. The 3rd lot ended up being part of that chapter 61 land. So there is a clear line of ownership that ultimately ended, like I said, being part of that chapter 61 land. Yeah, somewhere I have notes, I just haven't had a chance to finalize anything.
so, anyway, the conservation restriction. It's not a whole lot different in terms of allowed uses from the Mechanic Street CR. The forest management is a little bit stricter because this is being purchased part of the Forest Reserve Grant and the state, the EEA. There's some specific language they want inserted for that grant. It's not all that different than other CRs you've seen that for town land.
Who was the grantee on that?
Grantee is going to be the town of Upton.
Okay, that's,
And once it's granted, once the CR is granted, I mean, the land's probably needs to become conservation area. Folks will be managing.
okay.
Hope to have a parking area there. Actually, could you scroll all the way down, please? Don't take a minute here. We're gonna get to the very last page. It's complicated. It's a lot of stuff that, well, I don't think anyone ever agrees.
I actually read, I don't have much for
So
that.
we're having a survey done, in fact, the contract was just awarded. But this, right now, this survey plan, the next one. Pretty much encompass the whole property. So there's some, I think some questions about one of the property lines. If you a little further, yeah, here, we're proposing a parking envelope off of North Street. The northeast corner of amongst four sites. That shaded area. And not a whole lot of cars, probably 3-4 cars, 2, 3, 4 cars maybe.
Is that up by, Bill and
It is, there are
Marcella?
Bill and Marcella are butters across the road.
Okay, so is that easement area that runs out back there? There's like,
No, oh, you mean,
the little narrow piece that then opens up, kind of just above, I guess, the Bonner property, kind of, isn't it? Like around 200 or something?
well, if, Mary, could you scroll down? Well, no, you can't scroll down. No, never mind, but, 200 North Street, the town does own an easement to
Right,
get into 4 sites. But we're not proposing to use that, it's basically to, so by Evans. And we're not proposing to basically have public access right up their driveway.
oh yeah, but it's just towards Mass Pike a little further, it runs out to North Street, right?
No, this is south of. This is south of, Mary, yeah, you're right there, just go down a little bit. No, up, right next to, right adjacent to. Go down a little more. A little more. It's the lot with the stream crosses through it.
Oh,
That is
okay.
the Evans property.
Chapter 61.
Okay,
And so there's, and it's not shown, but there's an easement that the town owns to get to 4 sites
right,
on that lot. We're not proposing to use it for access, it's just,
right, but that Forest Heights does hit North Street.
it does, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there, and it's not that wide, yeah.
It's 240 feet,
How much?
240.
That's how wide it is?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I didn't know it was that.
Yeah, it's a buildable lot, pretty much.
Oh.
It might be like a 1/10 of a foot short or something. Listen to. It's 107 acres.
Oh,
So if there's no objections, comments, SCT and medical and MedCom will be submitting the CR with the review underway. The survey has been issued, that's contract was signed today, actually. DNH is gonna do the survey first. We'll be raising some funds too. Anybody wants to contribute. Fundraising. Appreciate.
I'm very happy that, SVT, I believe, will be buying the CR, selling the CR. The towns will buy it, right?
Town is selling us Medicom and SVT and CR.
So they're gonna get money for that,
Town's gonna get $600,000. That's the cost of the
right?
negotiated cost of the CR.
Wow,
So they should be happy with
that
that.
sounds like a lot of money for the CR.
No, it's actually the price value was more.
Really?
Was more than
I think it's great.
that. So we've got Medicom's gonna raise 200, SVT is gonna kick into 200,000, and the grant is 200,000.
All right. Who wrote the grant?
Mike,
job, Mike. Nice job,
it's an official grant here.
Jeff,
Yeah. Not nothing. All right,
So, do you have anything else for open space?
No,
Excellent. All good news. And how about land stewardship?
Not too much, but I just let you know, I've been working on the Robertson boardwalks. This October, others have had a lot of volunteers, time put into it. Still more to do, but probably 2/3 of the way done with the boardwalk, so. Request for bids for the drawbridge is actually out, and I think there's been some interest in it. It's on the town website, you can see the document, if you want to see it, and I don't know, maybe 10 different companies have,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
well, except, you know,
some people did it 3 times.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we'll see if we get bids, you know,
Yeah.
I think there's like, right now, there's one, I think, legitimate trail company
Great.
that is looking at it. Plus, hopefully, the company in Taos Trails in New York for. So just keep fingers crossed that we get some bids. A lot of those standard construction companies, like, it's like once they see they have to chuck stuff into the woods.
Right.
The other thing we did, Marcellaville and I met with Bob Hatch a week and a half ago. At the Haworth Glen property, and took a look at the boardwalk that goes across Warrenbrook. It was built around 2010 by a couple of Boy Scouts. Decking is kind of in poor shape. And he recently put some no horse traffic signs on each end of it. Because it's really not safe for horses. But we hit,
got the bridge behind like the Willie Field.
yes, okay, exactly, yeah. So anyway, we met with Bob and he's gonna get us a cost estimate to do his fiberglass panel design, you know, get right on top of the decking, we put his fiberglass panels and some geotech and some gravel. So it both strengthen it and make it safe again for horses, it's not safer for horses.
Do the horse people want to contribute at all?
We haven't asked anyone else yet. I don't know about that, we don't have a number yet from the, it's gonna be a substantial number now,
That's why I asked that question.
because it's somewhere around maybe a little less than 100 feet.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
5 feet wide.
so I think the Bay State Trail Riders provided the money for the bridge originally.
Yeah, so maybe they'd be happy to provide some more.
And they have worked with Bob Hatch before, on basic Hatch. I'm happy with what he does. So anyway, but I don't have the cost estimate to share with you. I think that's it.
Okay, so discussion items, Mary Jam. Math Hotline,
We might wanna put that to last, because other things might be more important.
okay,
So that, let's move on to the San Marine Villa, because Mike already addressed Forest Heights. And if you guys remember, that's Nolan Circle, and a few years ago, somebody tried to get a certificate of compliance, and I discovered their detention basin was all grown in. And the engineer came up with a very reasonable looking letter of what needed to be done to get them back into compliance, and they started doing some of those things. This is the engineer's letter. And their main point of question is the detention basin, so I think they already did like clean the parking lot and did the easy stuff. detention basin was overgrown with 4 to 6 inch diameter trees. Mass DEP guidance recommends that the basin area be kept in a mowable, maintained condition. Low shrubbery can be acceptable in cases, but larger woody growth is typically removed. So they recommend removing the trees and reseeding the area as required to obtain a mowable condition for future maintenance. So they are, I guess, suggesting to remove the trees and roots, which would cause some disturbance. And so, and let me just put up, see if I can find the email from, well, here's pictures, but not the greatest pictures. Pictures of the detention basin. Here's the trees, there's basin. Here's, and so I had reached out to them as a part of my, I haven't heard from these people in a year, what's going on? And they said, oh, we want to hear some more guidance from you guys in reviewing the detention area. They need clarification on how much of the trees we would like to be removed. It's basically a forest in there. If the goal is to completely cut everything down, if that's what we need to do, and I didn't know whether the $10,000 to $15,000 was just for cutting trees, but that's likely. And then they want to be able to budget for maintaining that later on.
If it needs to be mowed, obviously they all have to come down.
Yeah.
But you know, they're talking about the pulling the roots. You don't have to do that, you just have to cut them flush.
Right,
You
yeah,
know, you know, and then, you know, you obviously, you're gonna have to cut, put it in a sprout. Or you're gonna have to herbicide or something, because it will sprout, but if you're going to mow, I mean, you're not gonna use a lawnmower. I mean, you'll probably use some kind of.
Yeah.
Field cutter or. You know, like a brush hog or something, I would imagine.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but someone like Greg Trussell, probably
oh, yeah.
give them a, he's got the equipment, he's got brush hog, and he does some of this kind of work for utilities,
Oh, does he?
utility right of ways. So,
And then, like, just even like the weed whips with the blades on. Is
Right.
what they can use for, I don't know how big it is, but it can't be that,
What, the trees?
no, the area.
Right, it's not,
I mean, they're gonna use chainsaws for the trees, but the area can't be that big, so
no,
they could use those, like, it's not a weed whip, but it's like a weed whip, but it's got a saw blade on the end of it.
right.
And you
right.
can use that to keep everything down.
Keep it down for a while. Yeah, it seemed like when you look at the cost, you're like, hey, that's a lot, but this is a homeowners association. And there's 60 units, so you divide that. you
Yeah,
know,
it's-
on
it's-
60, it ends up
yeah.
being $500, which isn't the
Yeah.
greatest, but it's not the end of the world.
It should have been taken care of all
You'd
along.
probably be
And that's-
delighted to call Greg and have him do it. Really, that's
Right,
all they
right.
need is to
And
get
Greg is-
guidance.
Greg is about $1,200 a day.
Okay, so it'd probably be a fair bit cheaper than us. Yeah, okay. And this is
A
obviously.
younger
Well,
mother
this is-
would have done that for $15,000.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But that's,
Doesn't look like more than a day's work though.
cut all those trees and then you gotta pull them out. It's a lot of
Well,
work.
just
Several days, but not,
Yeah.
15,000 seems.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. And so, and then once that's done, it should be relatively easy to
Well, right,
maintain.
yeah, then it's cutting it once or twice a year.
Right.
Just, right. Not like you're mowing your lawn. Yeah. I'll cut them down. And if they pull it out, it should be good, they just have to manage the
Yeah.
roads.
So cutting, and they were kind of wanting to cut the sides of the basin and the bottom of the basin. They don't, I think the top is, I mean, whatever they need for access.
Is this a top of berm or is it?
Yeah, so that's the other thing, the tree topping over or something.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
if you know, see the design, if it's a depression, it's one thing, if it's actually berms. Think more about
There may be a
trees
little bit-
growing on the berm.
There may be a little bit of a berm, I mean. This is showing me some pictures. There may be a little bit of a berm,
Pretty tree though.
yeah, pictures in April. Alright, so clean out the sides and the bottom of the basin and. if there's a berm on.
Yeah.
May as well do the whole thing.
Yeah, if there's a berm.
I should mention some of that, but Mary, sometime take a look at the Howard Glen
Oh, that,
detention basin.
oh, okay.
It has berms and
Full of pine trees. Huh?
it's full of trees.
Oh, is it really? So how's that one? Is the town supposed to be managing that?
How owns it? Yeah.
So this is witness. Okay. Who's now?
But just,
acting town
and that
manager?
one, that one you could even indicate there's a little bit of a safety issue that fatal and happen, but you've got trees growing on a engineered berm.
Right,
And, you know, trees are, the roots into the berm, the roots die, there's an opportunity for water to pipe its way through.
right.
And Corps of Engineers would go, you know, if they saw trees like that growing in berms.
So then that development is maybe 20 years old or something?
Yeah, probably around there, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite, yeah, maybe.
Big, whatever the big dig was, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And- But anyway, I mean, it's nothing to do with the homeowners association.
It's the
It's
town.
town owned it.
Yeah.
Town owns all its detention.
Running over our bill here.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's gonna have to hire
What's
someone else.
What's next?
All right, yeah, so that was it on San Nicola, and then Mike, you had asked about the Whitney,
Yeah, we have the. Which one?
yeah.
We were out there, Owen was doing the work, I was just watching him mow the trail. But while I
It
was
was
watching
surprising.
mowing, I took it, this is the sign. It's from 2011, I think it's. Getting to the point where maybe we need to do something.
The bottom part looks nice.
Some parts, well, not better than. So, I can try to get some cost estimates if people don't. Think it's worth doing. Try to replace the sign. SVT did, I have a vendor from them who did their kiosk display. I'm wondering if use that vendor. This, you know, they told me this was gonna last 10 years. It's now 14 years. Any thoughts? Just get you guys a cost estimate, we can talk about.
Get a cost estimate.
Is it still called Sweet William Farm?
It would still be called that, I think, on the sign, yeah, because that was the name of the project. So, what? I guess that's. I would still call it Sweet William. You could possibly, change the design. Then get a picture of the trees. The other thing I noticed was there's a couple of dead trees. This is not too far off of North Street. There's a couple of dead trees that are dead limbs overhanging the trail and the fence, the pasture fence. So, my take when you see something like this, you need to do something about it.
So how would you, Mike? I mean,
We'd have to hire someone.
obviously, but they're not gonna climb because it's a dead tree. And you can't just bring it down because it's gonna breach the fence, right?
They could, you'd probably ask Grace for access through Five First Farm field. You could get right next, you could drive your equipment right up to the fence, reach over. But
Yeah, I know they won't climb it because it's dead.
and we don't want someone to get hurt, but as I understand liability issues, if that was a live tree, branch, if the tree was live and if the branch fell and hit somebody, there'd be no liability. But something like this, there's clearly a hazard. So the town, if somebody was hurt here, unlikely, but if somebody was hurt, it would be That would be liable. And then we also probably don't want the fence to
No,
get banged up.
So to get a price on it.
So we can work on that if it's.
Yeah.
Gonna be expensive.
that was good.
If they're gonna bring equipment, it's gonna be great.
It's hard to do any tree work for less than a few thousand.
Yeah. I got a buddy that does tree work, I can ask him what would be required.
But they built Soloway.
Marcel and I were walking up the trail, wondering which trees Mike had been concerned about. And in addition to these, there are more farther down the trail which are dead. So if we're gonna take these down, we may want to look at the rest of the trail to see if there's any others that should be down as well.
Some of them may not be on town land.
True.
Aren't sure which ones, there are places where we weren't sure if the trees were on our
Were
side.
they ash trees, Bill Marcella?
No,
Yeah, I think they probably were, but somebody can take a look at that.
Dead trees. Okay.
We'll work on cost estimate.
What's next?
If we want to look at the forestry survey, that would be the last.
Okay.
Okay,
Take a look at.
Can we quickly fill it in, Tom?
I don't feel it. I don't care who fills it.
Determination.
I didn't know what the point of it was, just their curiosity or. I didn't understand why they wanted it.
Well, I skimmed it, it looks like. Who is it for?
Audubon.
The Audubon.
Mass Audubon. So I didn't understand what the point of it was.
They're gathering information, but we don't know what for. I just thought that one of us who knows something about our forestry project should take a whack at it. I don't know that much about it. That hasn't.
If you want, I will fill it out to the best of my knowledge, and what I don't know, I will blank it. You guys can. You know.
It makes sense, otherwise, you know,
I know, I was.
get debating.
I didn't know what the point of it
for
was.
half an hour.
No, I just didn't know what the point of it was, like, I actually looked at it, and went through it. And my whole thinking was, why are we doing this? Like, I was just curious why we were doing it, but do you have a copy of it there that you can give me?
Yeah, this is the original.
Good.
It was our experience in caring for our woods.
Yeah, but why? Like,
Our,
That's what I
your
don't
insights are vital to ensuring
It's a
our
bunch of-
forests.
I know that. I didn't know what they wanted for. To me, they were just looking to see if they could,
Technical
If we could hire them
assistance,
to do something
financial
else.
assistance.
I will fill this out to the best of my knowledge, and whatever I don't know, we can
Is the envelope.
Okay.
sit back and we'll wait till Mary comes back.
Mary's like this to disappear. Maybe we could do this when she's gone.
No, we have the determination.
Please keep a question.
Yeah, no, I went through this. Yeah, so I do have a question though. When did we do our plan? How long ago?
What
Long
plan?
time.
The forest stewardship plan, we did
10
it
years.
first and then run it in. I was just wondering,
No,
For what property?
for our, I guess because Mass Audubon was.
It was before COVID.
We just, the one we just did on the one. It's the property, the one we did all the harvesting on.
I would buy more
Oh,
land.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't part of it.
But they did a farm stewardship plan first, remember? Where they were gonna,
Not just all of them.
yeah, so here's what it was.
Had Golem.
They-
Golem,
They didn't
Very
do
vivid image.
the forest management plan, they did a forest stewardship plan, because they wanted us to give them like $3,000 or something, and we could have got it done for nothing. And then eventually, they worked it down, and then eventually they wound up doing it for nothing.
Oh, was it forestry for the birds then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right, that's what this is, I believe,
Thank you.
right? Am I
I
wrong?
don't know if that. I don't know.
There you go.
That's-
That's-
Do it.
Sorry.
It's your job, Sandy.
It's the chair's job.
No. It's for.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor,
Aye.
good job, guys.
Thanks for your patience.
Good job.